Have you noticed moments in your life when everything seems to fall apart at once? The computer crashes, the washing machine stops working, maybe your pets fall ill, and even your favorite foods no longer appeal. It feels overwhelming and random. Some people even think, I must be cursed. But what if these events are not random at all? What if they're subtle signs that you're entering a paradigm shift that changes how you see and live your life? Welcome to Unbox the Podcast. I'm Sahar Huneidi Palmer, your intuitive life mentor and guide to conscious living. This season is all about the power of your story. Rewrite your story, reclaim your power. So, what makes a paradigm shift different? Not all changes in life are equal. Some are obvious, like moving house, starting a new job, committing to a relationship, or losing someone close. These are easy to recognize because they're visible and they're often dramatic. But a paradigm shift is different. It's like a sideways step into a new way of living. It begins with subtle changes, like the foods you used to love no longer appeal to you, certain colors you used to like feel heavy, even friendships that once nurtured you now leave you drained. These signals are easy to dismiss because they're subtle, they're small, they're what you might call minor. Yet they point to deep inner transformation that's already underway. Then acceleration begins. This transition accelerates into a series of breakdowns that you could neither help nor avoid. If this happens to you, then you know you're on the cusp of a big change, and it may frighten you. Over my years as an intuitive mentor, working with more than 16,000 individuals, I learned to see life's patterns from 16,000 unique and different angles and permutations, and I learned a great deal from it. Life can transform through a single dramatic event. But what really took place is a series of small cogs that turned quietly until suddenly the big wheel moved. What seems like sudden chaos is often the result of these hidden shifts coming together, gaining momentum. So, what's your first indicator? Your physical space is definitely a mirror. One of the clearest indicators of a paradigm shift is the subtle changes, which may start with how you feel in your physical environment, your home or your office. Have you ever looked around your home and suddenly disliked the colors on the wall, or some pieces of furniture, or even the pictures that you've hung? Your outer space reflects your inner state. When I was in my previous home, I started redecorating, shifting furniture around, rearranging the garden. I wasn't able to stop myself. Then suddenly, the rents doubled in Dubai and I had to move. So when I recently moved to a new flat, I found myself decluttering in a big way. I really had to. It was a much smaller space. So clothes, books, decoration all went out of the door, donated to charity or people I knew would love them. At first, it felt so hard to let go of those memories. With every item I released, I felt lighter. It was hard to stop not giving things away. And then the breakdowns began. My cat suddenly fell ill. The washing machine broke down. Then my desktop. Then my car. Then the television. And recently, the water boiler, although I am in a brand new building. At first, I felt like a series of unfortunate events took place, but I came to understand that these were not random events. They were reflections mirroring a deep transformation that already started taking place within me. The outside resonated with this internal change. Have you noticed how life naturally removes what no longer fits? When you are in a paradigm shift, life has a way of removing what no longer belongs. Sometimes gently, other times forcibly, relationships that are misaligned, jobs that feel heavy and no longer satisfying, possessions that keep you tethered to the old story, all start to fall away one by one. Clients often tell me, I feel like I've lost everything. And yet, months later, they see that what was lost made room for what they were truly ready to begin. That was my own experience too. After my recent decluttering, I realized I wasn't just clearing things, I was clearing the energy of feeling stuck. The breakdowns, the losses, and how these things reminded me of the old belief system, the old story that I was telling myself. Even in the chaos, they were all part of a bigger clearing. They were creating space for the new. Another sign that you're going through a paradigm shift is the emotional landscape is transforming. A paradigm shift can feel unsettling. You might even believe, I'm not supported. This is one of the hardest aspects because it forces you to examine your belief, your support system, your relationships, what shaped your old story. And you're not even aware that you're writing a new story. I only realized when a friend said, you look different and you feel different, much lighter, more at home with yourself, almost an intimidating change. And the truth is, I was. Everything was different. When I went through this, I felt completely alone. The support I expected wasn't there. But later I realized that this was part of the process. Those old beliefs had to be cleared so I can see how I was supported in new forms and from new sources. It's like life is dismantling the scaffolding you leaned on so you can stand differently on different grounds, more authentically, I would say, more aligned with who you are becoming. Going through a paradigm shift certainly feels lonely. It's like you're the only one going through it. It even feels like you're mourning, and you are. You're mourning the death of your old life, your old self, your old values. So, my advice is mourn well. Then, when it feels right to you, get up and claim that new life and start it. So, how can you tell if you're stuck repeating old patterns or entering accelerated growth? What most of us fail to see is that there is a difference between being stuck in repetitive patterns and stepping into accelerated growth. A series of so called unfortunate events hurry you into this paradigm shift because now is the right time for you. And in the middle of what you're going through, something always pulls you forward, urges you to turn the page and to see what's on the next page. So trust me when I say, just listen to the silence within you. It will guide you. Here are a few signs you can look for. 1. Your focus shifts and your desires change. Everything that is not aligned is being removed. That includes relationships, possessions, even regular habits. Anything that no longer fits will fall away. Number 2, challenges feel different. On the surface, they look familiar. I have an issue at work. But really, you respond with more resilience, more determination, more awareness than before. You find yourself asking, why do I even want this or need it? Why am I doing it? So don't be afraid to have these kind of conversations with yourself. You will find clarity when you do. Number 3, you feel guided even without clarity. There is often a sense of something larger is at work. Even if you can't see the full picture, it edges you to keep moving forward. It's subtle, but it's there. And finally, number 4, old coping strategies stop working. Whatever you did in the past is no longer working in the present. What once has helped you to get by now feels empty or ineffective. That's because it's pushing you to grow. You look for new ways to support yourself, and this may surprise people around you because you're coping in different ways than they're used to or in ways that they expect you. You stop listening to voluntary advice. That's a really good sign. Take it as a sign that you are on the right track. You no longer listen to the voices from outside, but you start connecting with your inner compass, your own real voice. So, how do you navigate a paradigm shift? The good news is that you become more conscious of these little shifts. I often find myself asking silently, okay, what's next? So instead of waiting for a breakdown or dramatic crisis, you can start noticing these small shifts. Be in the now, as they say. Be in the moment, and you will notice how your desired tastes, other indicators are really shifting. Here are some practices that can help you. Journal daily about what feels off or no longer is truly yours. I still do for like the past 15 years, something I got into the habit of when we did the 4-year holistic therapy course. It's really amazing. It's like having a conversation with yourself on paper. And once your brain sees what's on your mind, something shifts. Next, notice when you taste in food. Remember, you're looking for subtleties. Food, colors, or even the company you keep. Don't miss these little shifts. They are signs. Walk through your home and remove an item that feels like heavy, outdated, or no longer belongs, or no longer resonates with who you are becoming. You might want to shift your self-talk from why me to what is this showing me? What is this making space for? And before you fall asleep, visualize stepping sideways into a lighter, freer future. Imagine your life. Whatever you can't imagine, you can't create. Another tip is to keep your heart open. Even when things feel chaotic, keep your heart open, because this is how guidance comes through the whispers of the heart. Finally, be patient and support yourself. Instead of judging and criticizing and putting the blame and saying, oh, I keep doing this, it may not be relevant. When you do this, you start catching those early signs. You begin to see what feels like endings are actually invitations into a new, bigger, more authentic new story. And finally, trust the transformation. When a big shift happened to me a few years ago, I called it the year of a series of unfortunate events. After the children's movie that I enjoyed with my nieces more than 25 years ago. But looking back, I can see that it was the beginning of a paradigm shift. It was what I call a sideways step into a new life. It felt different because it was new and it was a sidestep. So the next time you feel like everything is falling apart, the machines, the car, the friendships, the routine, pause and ask, could this be a paradigm shift? Could life be guiding me into accelerated growth, into a sideways step, into a new way of being? Remember, transformation often begins quietly. It's only when we ignore the subtle signs that life has to get louder. Paradigm shifts are not punishment, they are an invitation. It's life clearing the old ways so that you can stand in who you are becoming. They ask you to rewrite your story, reclaim your power, and live more fully as the authentic, real you. Thank you for joining me today on Unbox the Podcast. If you're listening on Apple, please leave a quick star rating. It helps this indie show to be heard. See you next Tuesday.